Hello YouTube, I'm some girl and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a scriptwriter, songwriter, and director of a show called Garden Hearts. If you want to see the introduction to the cast video, that will be linked in the description. Wait a minute, did you drink water today? Go drink some water and then come back. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get into the history of Lapidoth. At first you might be asking, what is Lapidoth? Lapidoth is a fictional kingdom, but is very different from if it's just me writing it. Because, I write. Oh yeah, I do write books. I'm writing one now. I might start posting that soon too. Well, a lot of plugs. Let me get back to where I was saying. First is the original Lapidoth from a book I plan on writing. And I'm so happy to start that after I finish the book I'm writing now. But today we will be focusing on the role-playing, or RP, version of this kingdom. If you role-play and you really want to meet these characters, which will go more detail in the next video. This is one that's just about the history. The link to the Discord server will also be in the description. 50 years ago, the nomadic people who lived between these two kingdoms, Volrek and another kingdom. It's not actually described what it is. I asked the main person of the server, and they're like, I don't know. What you want? I'm like, okay. There is a great peace between the nomadic tribes even after the war. So there's a war between Volrek and this other kingdom, and they fought, and then they stopped fighting. These tribes worship, they're pagan, and this doesn't result in on our Earth, just like another planet, another timeline. And this whole roleplay takes place during a medieval your typical medieval fantasy world. But this is my kingdom. Yay. Okay. The tribes came together and began writing their own written language, just so they can communicate to each other. Yes, they also speak common, but this is their own little language. And they continue to spread out in this area because they are nomadic. So that's what it means. Alright. The language that they've written is now known today as the language of the nomads, or sacred tongue, since nowadays it is used for more religious events. Then 46 years later, so 4 years ago from the present timeline, Volrek went to war again, going into native Lapidothians' borders. This is where Cyrus Salem comes in. Cyrus is a native Lapidothian, although just in the time that this is happening, he's still called just a regular nomad, but in present time we would now call them native Lapidothians, or just natives. He would move from place to place around the southern undrawn border. He was a carpenter, but in his spare time, Cyrus would make wooden toys and other cool trinkets. He's really into woodwork. He loves it. And then there's also Maria. She resides on a western border, so she's really the northwestern border, and they hug the side of Volrek. That's what they do. Yippee! So that's really cool. Maria is a teacher, so she helps people in her tribe learn and stuff like that. Alright. Oh, and she's also seen as an authority figure within her tribe. She's not the tribal leader, but she's definitely up there, if that makes sense. Also, gender does not matter in like terms of power, at least here and in their religion that I also created. But then again, war came. Just as the 46 years after the first one, this made the nomads try to protect all that they could, even non-nomads, as in people who aren't native Lapidothians, so refugees. Specifically, Cyrus, the southern nomad, and Kamaria, the western nomad, they were very big help in trying to save as many people as they could. Volorak, which is, the kingdom we were talking about before, utilized demon warriors mostly because this king, the king of Volorak at the time, was a demon. He is no longer the king in present day. He is, I don't know what we did. We made him go away. And now his son rules his kingdom. And he has a baby. I love that baby. She's so cute. This also causes Cyrus to have a very, very uneasy relationship with demons. And we'll go deeper into that in the next one, because this is just history. And then we'll get into characters, then we'll get to fluff, and I'll be able to make skits. Because you just have to, I like giving you all the information now. I don't feel like making videos later about it. Anyway, where am I? I lost myself in the script. Alright. Closer to the end, Cyrus was giving a speech during a show meal, discussing the best course of action. He raised his wine goblet to those he drank. Little did he know he actually drank God's blood, specifically the blood of the sun and fire, Sol Ulto. Cyrus' blood turned gold, like those of the gods, and making an 8-pointed sun under each eye. And this is really important because it means he's blessed, but he's also technically a demigod. But he's still human. He's mostly human. He just got blood in him now, and he's quote unquote blessed. Because again, this isn't on Earth, so there's many religions. Even though there's still one heaven and one hell, and all religions are correct. It's you know what, let me talk about the religion real quick, because I love talking about it, because I made it all up. So it began with chaos, and out of chaos was birth. The chaos then created its counterpart, light, and light then created light, and chaos created all things. They are not seen as gods anymore, because what happened is they died when creating Sol Ulto. Yay! All the gods. So darkness, light created light created Sol Ulto, god of fire, god of the sun, and Terra Alma, I think. And she is the goddess of, human beings. And oh my goodness, what else? And earth and plants and stuff like that. Then chaos specifically created Luna Alta, and then Chaos Alma, who is the god. Luna Alta is obviously the goddess of the moon, and Chaos Alma is the god of wind and change. We're going to go even deeper into talking about religion, because I find it really interesting, because I created all of it. we can go into the creation of the world. Terra created the land, right? And she's like, I don't know what to do. So her brother, oh yeah, and then they Chaos and also their siblings also have another sister named Kion, and Kion, God, is a goddess of the cold. And right before Light died, she was like, Chaos, until you shall become king, and you must choose a wife. You must have a wife named Bibis. And Kion, who was originally like, Kion was supposed to be Sol Ulto's counterpart because, he was warm and she was cold. And Luna Alta was very jealous, and she did not want Kion to be queen because Kion was her younger sister. And she's like, well, why do I get to be queen? Why am I stuck not being queen? She was like, okay, F that. I'm not gonna do all of that, the heck. So she goes ahead and she locks Kion in the darkest part of chaos, and then says like, oh yeah, she said all this bad stuff about you, so you should definitely marry me instead. And so Ulto, he doesn't know who Kion is because he's never met her, so he was like, okay. They got married, and Luna Alta creates a bunch of angels, and that's how the angels were made. Yay! And that's also why these angels in specific they are pure until they're not. They have because Luna has that evil part of her, which is why the new moon is called the dark moon, because of everything. No, man, and at Count Maria's camp, she was hosting a similar meal, leading others to protect others. Once she drank her wine, which also turned into God's blood, she was also blessed. But she was blessed by Luna Alta, goddess of the moon, and angels. Kamari's blood turned gold as well, and there lie 2 crescent moons under each of her eyes. They now also have something called the glow, which means, and that's what causes ethereal glow. It's like, wow. And this is really important for later. So now when the blessing is actively working on Cyrus and actively working on Camaria, for Cyrus he turns golden, and for Camaria she gets this pale blue color. It's really pretty. Yippee! Although they don't know it yet, their fates were now tied together. But like all wars, this one ended as well. Both with Cyrus and Camilla Parculus seen as heroes among their fellow people. With the war over, the people of Lapidoth wanted to be protected. First, they began to rebuild and shape a now permanent home. The refugees asked the natives, why don't they have a king or queen? That the war would not happen if they had one. The natives were persuaded, so they made their war heroes into rulers. You might be thinking, well, why didn't they just split up and they're tribe leaders now? Basically because they saw the glow, and they're like, they must get married. Yay! And you might be thinking, well, arranged marriage kind of sucks, but this is also medieval time, so who cares? And Cyrus and Camari's marriage, after a week of knowing each other, which is crazy, but they were really chilling with each other. They're like best friends. And this was also 4 years ago, so they eventually learned to love each other. But they're very open. They're very open people, so it wasn't hard. And Camari and Lapidoth is now known for being a marketplace hotspot and a home to many refugees and runaways. All would not have been impossible if not for Cyrus, Camaria, and the gods' watchful eye. Wow. I talked a lot. I hope you enjoyed this little fake history lesson. Next, we'll do a deeper dive into characters that are very important to the plot. But Cyrus's coming story is mostly fluff, so I'll do a so if I have free time between animating Garden Hearts, which you should definitely check out, maybe I'll make a skit about the two of them in between like these longer form videos. Anyways, I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and if you like and subscribe, that would be very cool. Bye bye.